Hi, people of Dominica, it's me again. And when it's Friday night, as it is today, it is the top 10 and it is wine. People, people. Today, I got some blows from Labour Party people today for expressing my thoughts. I had to check myself off and on to see if my clothes were still on because I thought they had stripped off my clothes. But luckily for me, I was wearing jeans and sweater, so they could not get it off. Oh, the freedom of thought and expression. Oh, how I love that freedom, how I cherish it, and how I make use of it. Thank you again, America, for this refuge where I can express my thoughts freely with no fear of victimization. One of the criticisms that I get is that I am reading from a paper for my presentations. So please allow me to tell you guys why. I am reading from my paper visibly because I am not big enough yet to have a teleprompter just like the politicians and the TV anchors have. So I'll have to make do with reading from my paper for now. Who knows, maybe one day I'll be big enough to have my own teleprompter. Folks, tonight I wanted to dress in red. I wanted to dress in red tonight. I thought maybe my red Dominican folks will see me as one of them. When I say one of them, I do not mean a Labourite, but one of them as a Dominican. They probably do not know, or they forgot that I, Shirley Allen, was born in Lapland, Dominica, 1 month and a date in 1958, that my navel string is buried under a tree in Plaisance, Lapland. But after I put on the dress and I really didn't feel pretty in it. I didn't feel good in it. I love the color red, but what red represents is so disgusting that I do not, I do not even like to wear red anymore. I have a lot of red in my wardrobe, but I don't feel pretty in red anymore. With that said, people, let me get down to the business of tonight. I know I'm going to get some people raging mad, but who cares? For this top session, I will deal with one topic as it is worth 10 topics. This topic, people, is Skerrit's latest and disgusting low-down assault on Dominica's candidate for the St. Joseph constituency, Monel Williams. I see that many people act as if they are surprised, but I'm not. What else? What can you expect from Skerrit, people? What else can you expect from Skerrit? This is all he got. Just like his followers. This is all they got. Haven't you noticed that, people? Well, I have. When ordinary folks were saying distasteful things about Afinia Benjamin, Labour Party's candidate, I spoke against it. I went on Facebook and I said, no, this is not nice. This is in poor taste. You guys need to stop this. I spoke against it. I clearly remember, people. I clearly remember. You see, I'm a political animal. I'm in this politics thing for a long time, both in the politics of Dominica and in the politics of America and also international politics. I love to observe politics, so I observe. So during the 2008 election, when Hillary was contesting against Obama for the candidacy of the Democratic Party, although I was not, and I'm still not a supporter of Hillary Clinton, I stood in her defense. I became very sympathetic towards her. Because you know why? You know why, people? First, I'm a human being. Second, I am a mother, I am a woman. Third, I am a mother and a grandmother of a daughter and a granddaughter. This is how I roll. At that time, I used to write a lot. So I wrote an article in solidarity with Hillary Clinton. It's a very long article, so I cannot do the whole article. I will just take a little excerpt from it. And this is it. Today, February 8th, 2008, 2 days after my 50th birthday, I picked up my local newspaper. That was in Falls Church, where I worked at the time, at the Center for Multicultural Human Services. And there was an article by Nicholas Benton, captioned, "Male Chauvinism and Hillary Clinton." What? I thought. A man talking about male chauvinism? That must be very interesting. So I read on. Mr. Benton was lamenting about the way the press, Hillary's opponents, and others were treating her in her bid for the presidential nominee of the Democratic Party. He said this, people: "There is nothing that insecure men loathe more than a ball-busting woman, as they perceive them. One way or the other, they threaten something very deep in their psyche. They make it hard for some of them to pee. But even more secure men, in the spirit of male bonding, tend to cover for their psychological ed. Brothers, and too often go along with their denigrating snipes at women. And sadly, women do it too. The worst, the most dangerous enemy of a strong woman is a simple-minded, weak, insecure woman who has self-esteem problems." It's sad, but it is true. They do. Women are more cruel to other strong women than even the men. And that is the sad part of it. My point exactly, I said. I actually said that with a "yay, my point exactly" attitude. People were looking at me like I was crazy on the train. But I was so happy to see this coming from a man. Isn't that refreshing coming from a man? If Mr. Benton was brave enough to say that, why should I be afraid to say what I wanted to say 2 years ago? Thank you, Mr. Benton. I'm saying it now. So let's go back to the Dominica situation now. What Skerrit is doing to Monel today is quite similar to what was happening to Hillary in 2008. I spoke for Hillary then, so today I am speaking for my sister queen, Monel Williams. You see, people, Monel is a serious threat to Skerrit. Monel is to Skerrit what Nicholas Benton suggested that Hillary Clinton was to men who were denigrating her. This is it again, people. This is it again, people. It is worth a second round. There is nothing that insecure men loathe more than ball-busting women as they perceive them. One way or the other, they threaten something deep within their psyche. They make it hard for some of them to pee. But even more secure men in the spirit of male bonding tend to cover for their psychologically ED. Brothers, and too often, go along with denigrating swipes at women. And women do it too. Women do it too. To my sister Monel, I say, Hold your own, my sister. Hold your own. Stand tall with pride and with dignity. Stand tall, my sister. Stand tall. Hang in there. And to Scarrett, I say, did that make you feel more manly, Scarrett? Did you feel more manly after you denigrated Monette Williams and by extension all other women? Did it give you a high? Did it make you feel proud? Did it make you feel powerful? Scarrett, you said that leadership is everything. Is this the leadership you were talking about, Scarrett? Is this the leadership that you were talking about? No wonder, no wonder you have your total makut foot soldiers, both men and women. Women who have no dignity and no pride and no self-esteem. You have stripped them of their dignity, their pride, and their self-esteem, Scarrett. They are going all over the place, all over the place, left and right and center, giving people mepui for you. You are a disgraceful leader, Scarrett, and you are a disgrace to Dominica in so many ways. I know that you are not man enough, that you do not have the character that is required for an apology in you. So I will not ask you to apologize to Monel and by extension to every woman in Dominica. So I won't ask that of you. It would be futile. But Scarrett, I must say this to you. As many have suggested before, you need to check yourself. Verbal abuse, emotional abuse are just as bad as physical abuse, and they exhibit this characteristic. So it's a diagnosis. So let's go to the diagnosis of abusers and batterers, Scarrett. Antisocial personality disorder, deceitfulness, repeated lying, use of aliases, or conning others for personal profit or pleasure. Borderline disorder, personality disorder, a pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships by alternating between extreme idealizations and devaluations. This is what you do, Scarrett, to both men and women. Narcissistic personality disorder, have a grandiose sense of self-importance. This Scarrett explains you to the T. Scarrett, all those characteristics you exhibit, which means, Scarrett, which means you are a sick man. So please go get some help for your sake and that of your family. Get some help, Scarrett. And the women who are applauding Scarrett, and cheering for him, cheering him on for doing this to Monel, you are women of no self-worth, no dignity, no self-esteem, and no pride. Scarrett has taken all that. He has stripped you of all of that. Good night, people. Have a lovely weekend. I'm going to have a great weekend too. Thanks for watching.